everybody, long time no see, unless you've been following me on my Instagram on my little travels. So we're on Wobble Gob 56, so I thought I'd do a bit of an intro update, and then there is a video of our little tour of Scotland. It's quite long, I think it's about 40 minutes long, so feel free if you don't wish to watch it or just zip through it or whatever. If you're interested, you might not even be interested. So what have I been doing? Well, I did a workshop with Old Mill Arts. Edward and Lucy came down from Scotland. They're actually moving to Dumfries and Galloway at the moment, moving their studio. And well, one of the weird things was the fact that I taught Lucy back in 2001. So it was quite nice actually. It's like full circle. So like she was my student and then I was the student. So we had an absolutely fantastic day. We got back into sketchbooking. Oh, I love sketchbooking. I don't do it enough, and when I do it, I absolutely love it. So this was my record and log of the 2 days that we did. So we made pots to start off with out of found and foraged clay, and they were then fired in just a chimney that night. Lucy and Edward just put them in the chimney and they fired. Obviously they're not 100% like ceramic, but for what they're needed for, which I'll come to in a second, they were fantastic. We looked at making tools for charcoal. We made bamboo pens. We made ink. Got daffodils, cooked them up to make an ink, and then had a play around with charcoal, pine willow and cherry sap made into an ink there. Some of the colours that we've got, playing around with different things. We played with indigo, which was lovely. And then day 2 we went into doing watercolours and pastels. So these were all the different sorts of colours that we've been playing around with. And I've fallen down a rabbit hole, haven't I? Absolutely loved this. So I went and got I've been sourcing. I'm still busy sourcing at the moment. This was me. I was playing in our garden with some rocks and things that I'd found in Filey. So I made an ink, diluted with my pen, and then had a go at doing some watercolours. So those were the actual colours that I made with my rocks. Don't know how well you can see them. So they dry, you mix them. Oh, it's a right little witch's cauldron going on. But then what should happen then is if you've just got some water and you put water back in it, it hopefully, I haven't actually tried this yet, used once dried out. Yep, there we go. It turns back into a watercolour. So it was just such a yummy 2 days. I haven't tried these. I don't know how well they worked out. They were quite strong when they went like neat. I suppose my brush isn't the cleanest of brushes. Seems though it's got colour on it already. But I wanted just to have a play around. Oh, there we go. Making my own colours to possibly start using within my own work. Because I thought that'd be really nice, because my work's all about journeys and things like this. I thought, oh, if I could locate my materials to where the work's about or something like that, I thought would be quite nice. So it was lovely just having a proper play around doing that. So we ended up with, these are my little pots with my little paints, so just little pots, and then the ones that I've turned, some of these are watercolours, just using shells. So again, if you make a colour that was from the beach, in fact actually that might be, yeah, that's what these ones are. They were from the beach. Those were just the excess bits that I'd got. So you've got your little set of paints to play around with. So I really liked that. And then using chalk, we sort of made pastels as well. So it was just lovely. They're so knowledgeable. Came away with pigments. So that's the yellow ochre that I've got. That's called Friday Fog. That was the colour that I made. So that was the other thing that was nice as well, was you can name your colours, whatever you want to call them. So because I did it on a Friday and it looked a bit foggy, it became Friday Fog. So that was that. And I had a little go when I was in Arran. I haven't tried these out either. These are my seaweed colours. Actually, I've got those in my other book. That's a bit wet. That will stay on there and won't fall off because I took the wrong sketchbook with me when we went on holiday. So this was me. These were my colours that were neat. So I actually haven't seen whether or not these will reactivate. So these were made out of seaweed. So I had a black seaweed and a red. Yeah. Don't know that I've got my watercolour binder yet. The right mixture. But there's a little bit of colour there. This was the red one. It took quite a while to try out. And they were quite sticky, so yeah, I'm not sure that I've been as successful with my seaweedy ones, but it might be that they're just not the right sort of thing, because normally it's like a dried pigment, which I did make, so you grind them up in your pestle and mortar and sieve out the particles. But I have brought some back with me to have a go at cooking to see whether or not I can get any colour out of them. There's a little bit of colour going on. It's quite faint, but there's something there. But anyway, that was fun doing that. So I'm going to have a play around with that. And then when I was in Oban, my friend Jane recommended Deborah Gray. She's on Instagram. And she does natural dyeing. And one of the pictures that I've got on my video is of their natural dye garden. So she'd got some lovely pigments. So I've got a tansy one here, which apparently, I think it's that one that she said is quite rare because the flower only gives up its colour for a couple of weeks a year. I've got a blue butterfly pea and phragmites. No idea, but they look slightly different colours to anything else that I've got. So I'm quite looking forward to having a play around with these and seeing what happens. So that's one rabbit hole that I'm going down. Then on my video, if you happen to watch it, I like to have a project that I can stitch in the van. The van's the only place I can actually stitch and not feel sick. Can't do it in the car. I think it must be because the van window's really big, so I could see the horizon. So before we went away, I've got a load of these bags and I just got some of my prints and I printed on in white. And then while we've been away, I've just been printing each block. I think this is something that I'm going to have probably on my shop, because I just found it was fantastic for a holiday project, because you just put your wools, your needle and your scissors in your bag and you've just got everything ready to go. So it's basically just following the lines just with any stitch. And it's quite nice because you can then extend it. So I'm probably going to do a little bit more stitching around. I thought I might do something on the other side as well. Still got a couple of blocks there. You can sort of see what it looks like without stitch and what it looks like with stitch. Just turn that down a little bit. Oh, no, it's turned it off. There we go. Turn it down just a little bit. So there's all sorts of stitches on here. Bullion knots, French knots, fly stitch, blanket stitch, chain stitch, back stitch, running stitch, stem stitch, satin stitch, pistol knots, spiders wheels, wrapped spiders wheels. Gosh, there's all sorts. I really enjoyed doing that, actually. It's that stitching for the love of stitch. It's not mindless stitching, but it's nice because you don't really have to think. There's a shape and all you do is choose a stitch and start stitching. And what I find when I'm doing this, I remember other stitches and think, oh, I could use that stitch, or oh, I wonder what it'd be like if I did that one. So I really, really enjoyed doing that. So I think this is a new product possibly that I'm going to start looking at doing, is doing some of my prints onto bags. So I've got some denim bags and I've got some calico bags. So it might be quite nice, I think, just to have a play around with a couple of those. So we'll see what happens with that. And then I'd taken with me a hoop in a hoop because I haven't done any of my hoops in a hoop this year. And I'd got this little bee in my bonnet of when you've got something that's created a hole in your life, or if something happens that either is not good or it's sad, or there's just something, a gap, you cover things up and you hide things. And I thought, oh, I've not done a hoop yet that's just totally and utterly covered in stitch. So that's what I started doing. So this is where I've got to with my little hoop in a hoop. So there's actually here, there's a limpet shell that I got in from the beach. And I've actually stitched that onto it as well. So it starts off with like the darker hole. So there's the dark hole in there, which is like where the hole originates. And then it's going to get lighter. So by the time you get to the end, it's all just going to be white. So, and it sort of reminds me as well, because I do talk about my work being a little bit like when you throw a pebble in a pool and you get the ripples that radiate out. I had a little bit go doing my blanket stitch on itself, so that stands up. So I'm just playing around here just with stitches. I've got tatting, I've got spider's wheels, I made some handmade cords, I did some picot edges there that wrap around. So I'm trying to hide as much of the hoop as I can so you actually can't see it. And I've got loads of techniques that I've learned over the years that I think I'm just going to add to this and just see how it goes. But oh goodness me, when I had my day on my own in the van, I was stitching on this and it actually didn't look like I'd done very much because it hadn't really expanded a lot, but I spent a whole day. There must be maybe 3 days worth of stitching on this so far. And it's just lovely just to sit and just think, what stitch shall I do? And I'll just add that and then I'll add another stitch and then, oh, I'll come back to that. And how am I going to hide that? And can I stitch on top of what I've stitched on top of already? So yeah, I quite enjoyed doing that. So that's really, I suppose, what I've been up to. Oh, and I did my talk and workshop in Aberdeen. So the talk was just my an obsession and an accident is really just about how I ended up doing this. And then the workshop we did was the collage paper boxes, which they never get 100% finished in the day. And I know sometimes when you go to a workshop, it can be disappointing that you haven't finished. But to do something and finish it in like 5 or 6 hours and really concentrate on it for that long is quite hard to do, even if you've got a project and you know exactly what you're doing to keep going. But I just think when you go on a workshop, even if you come away and you haven't finished it doesn't matter. You've learnt things, you've absorbed things, you've possibly come up with new ideas for new things that you could do. I know I have a variety of projects that I've done on workshops where some of them I have finished 100% and I came home. I like to try and get to that stage where I'm about 80% done in the day because I know that I'm probably going to get the rest done. Then I have other projects that actually I probably did 15, 20 years ago and I still haven't finished them, but I learned a lot while I was doing them. So if you don't finish on a workshop, don't beat yourself up around the head with a stick or a pair of scissors or whatever. It's not about that. You're stitching for the love of stitch, no matter what you're doing. And you're with friends and you're drinking tea, possibly eating biscuits and cake. And that's fine. It's fine. We've got to be kinder to ourselves. So the next little bit on the Wobble Gob is going to be my little compilation of our trip to Scotland. It takes you through Aberdeen, over the Cairngorms to Oban and then to Arran. The only bit that's really not on there is Robert did try to go up Gothfell. Last time we went, February, he couldn't go because there was a storm. This time when we went, he'd set off, but then they closed the mountain because there was a moorland fire. It went for 3 days. Quite sad, really. But they stopped people going up. So he ended up doing a bit of a different walk. But I still had my day in the van stitching. Oh, my goodness me. Oh, I was just like in a little cocoon in the van. I'd got my breakfast tray. I'd got my stitching. I was watching the sea. There was a pheasant that went by at one point. And then I was watching a helicopter that was coming and getting water for the fires. Bit of a shock coming back to reality, but no, it was amazing. Absolutely amazing. So if you fancy watching it, I hope you enjoy it. Don't worry if you don't want to watch it. But yeah, that's me. Done and dusted, I think, for now, for April. I've got no idea what's coming up next. I need to get back to reality. But I've got my group of friends. We're called the Witchy Stitchers, and we're going on a retreat to Wales next Thursday to coincide with going to Wonderwall in Wales, which I'm very excited about. It's a show I haven't been to yet. We're going on the Saturday. So if you are there and you see us, please say hello. And I'll probably do a video about that. So that'll probably be the next Wobble Gob that I do in a couple of weeks. Because we're going there, we're going to Port Meriam, which I love. And then we're having a chilled time, all of us stitching together. So yeah, it'll be a couple, well, it might even be 3 weeks before the next one, because unless I do a live one, quick live one, like I did on the ferry at Arran, that was interesting, a bit windy. We had no wind at all the whole time that we were in Aberdeen and over in Oban, and then we got down to come on the ferry and it was like, it's windy, what's going on? Anyway, it was still beautiful. So right, right, I'll shush. I haven't thought about a well-being thing. I think at the moment the world's crackers, so just live in your little cocoon. I think that's it. That's what I learned in my van. Find yourself a cocoon. Where is it? Is it a chair in the living room? Is it in the conservatory? Is it in the garden? Is it somewhere out and about where it's just your space and you just need to spend a little bit of time in your cocoon just doing a bit of stitching, just for the love of stitch? So with that in mind, enjoy my trip to Scotland and I will see you soon. Ta-da! Morning everybody, we are in Aberdeen, just staying on the outskirts, and we are heading in. Today we decided we're not sure about the parking with the van, so we're being very brave. Robert's been very brave. We're going on a bus, so we've got, it's about a half an hour walk from the campsite, across a bridge. Is that somebody's house? Yeah, I can't go that way. Can we go that way? I don't think we can go that way. Oh dear. Lost already. We've only left the campsite. Nope, we're walking around. So it's a really, really nice campsite. It's quite posh. By that I mean we went to the showers this morning and the shower block is heated. So to me that's a posh campsite. Not used to that sort of luxury in our lives. But no, the site's really nice. They've got all sorts of different things on it. Statics, glamping, hard standing, caravans, etc. That would be a very nice house. Sorry, I was talking about that abandoned building behind us. Find that wherever we go, oh, that zoomed in on my face, that's a bit bad. That's better. Wherever we go, we end up house hunting, so we've been looking at all the little crofts and things in the middle of the fields, and when we were coming on the van, I'm like, oh, that's nice, and ooh, that'd make a nice house. Always looking at houses is quite funny, really. Not that we're moving anywhere, but yeah, so it's a bit cool this morning. So I've got multiple layers on. No doubt, hopefully, the weather's meant to be really good this afternoon when we're in Edinburgh. We're not going to Edinburgh, we're going to Aberdeen. Brain's not functioning this morning, so we're off into Aberdeen. I'm dragging Robert to noisy cars, to hopefully a textile exhibition at the art gallery, and then we're going to Fitty, which is one of the old parts of Aberdeen, down near the harbour, and then we may end up at one of the gardens, and then hopefully, if things go to plan, we will be on the bus back. But yeah, so I'll share with you the day if there's anything exciting to share with you, and get some exercise in now after breakfast. See you in a bit. So after the gallery, we wandered through the city, wasn't quite sure where to go next, and I'd read about this little hidden gem in Aberdeen called Fitty, which is how it's pronounced. It looks like Foot D when you read it online. And it's actually a quaint former fishing village. And it's just gorgeous. It's just on the ends of the harbour. Sometimes you could miss it if you just drove past in the car because it's quite tucked away, but it's well worth a little wander around. You can't really take your car down, but it's a gorgeous, gorgeous little mix of these narrow entrances with little rows of cottages from the mid-19th century, and they're organised into little squares. So one of them's around a little chapel, and the other one's got little buildings. But it was for the city's fishermen, and the designs probably date back round about to 1809, and it was a concept of a local architect called John Smith, who actually was known for his alterations to Balmoral Castle. And it's just a lovely little area that's just got these gorgeous little houses, and some of them are very similar, some of them are very different. The central bit is really quirky with these gorgeous little sheds and huts that have all been really personalised, and they're just so quirky. You could just imagine sitting outside here with a cup of tea and just really, really enjoying it. And just especially when we were there, just enjoying the sun. It was absolutely gorgeous, and you can just feel like it was like a little colony of people. Some of them have been really personalised. Some of them, you look at them and think, ooh, there's a doer-upper. Some are modern, some are quite oldie worldy, some have still got a bit of the fisherman heritage to it. And it was just an absolute joy to walk around. It was just absolutely gorgeous. The only thing we were missing really was a cup of tea, which would have been kind of nice. But it was just lovely. If you ever get to Aberdeen, it's really, really worth popping down and having a little bit of a wander round. what a beautiful way just to spend the morning. Just went for a coffee, had a mosey around the beautiful Botanical Gardens, had a walk around the park as well. Absolutely stunning. Probably one of the nicest botanical gardens that I've seen in quite a long time. And it was free. It was quite busy. Seems like a very popular place for people to go. But I had a lovely, lovely time. And then it was ready to head off for my talk and my workshop the next day before we headed up into the Cairngorms. Robert was doing a walk and then I was picking him up. And we were going to go and do a little bit of a park over. So Aberdeen's been absolutely beautiful. Morning everybody. So we left Aberdeen yesterday and we stopped in Braemar last night, little park up in the middle of the village. Went for a very nice meal last night. So we're up in the Cairngorms. The drive up yesterday was absolutely beautiful, wasn't it, Robert? Yep, Robert did a massive walk yesterday on the Deeside Canal? River, yeah. I was running a workshop. So today the holiday starts, so we're going up through the Cairngorms today, up and over the tops, and we are heading to Oban, which is very exciting. So if I flip this round, there we go, this is where we stayed last night. The castle is just over there, and the little restaurant we stayed in is just outside, well, we stayed at, was just outside the campsite. It's a great little park up. There were probably 3 or 4 vans here last night. Access to the loos in the summer from 8 till 8, which was great. But we've got up this morning and it is full on blue skies, so I can't wait to see what the landscape's going to be like as we set off.
Southeast towards
well, 3 and a bit hours later and we have made it to Oban. You would think we were in the middle of like the Mediterranean or something. It is absolutely beautiful. It's unbelievable. An absolutely gorgeous place. We're just having a bit of a wander around. Oh, but that's what David was talking about. So Robert's mum and dad were busy saying that they'd stayed in a white hotel on the front. I think that must be it there. But just look at this. Oh my goodness. Cannot believe that we're in Scotland. Water is so clear and it's just absolutely beautiful. Quite busy, ferries are in or out, but we can have a right proper explore now. Stretch his legs, see what we find. So we've set off on a walk. Robert's making me go up a hill. Apparently we're going up there. That'll be fun. But we're about part way up. And just look at the view. It's so still and sunny. I'm a bit warm. Oh, you can see our little van. Wonder if I can zoom in. Oh no, zooming in. Go down and across. So I don't know if you can see it, but I can see our little van. That's so cute. Bless it. But yeah, unbelievable. Yay! Bit sweaty, bit hot. Made it to the top. Oh, rhymes. Excellent. Yeah, I did a bit of moaning, but anyway, we got here. So let me flip it round. There we go. View from the top. It's so quiet and still. It's just beautiful. There's a bit of a cool breeze, but when you're in that sun and out of the breeze, it's absolutely boiling. So yeah, I've walked my hill now. That's it, I'm done. Yeah, just check them with Robert. Maybe not done. Oh, that's just been lovely. A bit hard going every now and again. But I made it. We're here. So we might have a cuppa at the top. Well, take two. Just after I finished that, Robert then pointed out that we weren't at the top or at the viewing point. So we've had to carry on a little bit further. But it's still an amazing view. I'll turn it around again. There we go. So you can see a bit further around the other side now. It's just so beautiful. And so peaceful, which I think I've said. You can see the van from here. And the little campsite that we're stopping on. There's a few castles. There's somebody using a chainsaw. Oh, there's somebody building a house down there. But yeah, walked up a hill. Oh, you can see, like, if you go down that, it's quite a big hill. Right down there. So we started off on the beach. Then we came up through the village, and then we've come zigzaggy up and down all the way up the hillside to the viewpoint. It said in the reviews it was worth it. It definitely was. So on the map it had said that part way up there was a waterfall. I was imagining, because we're going up a hill, something quite dramatic. This is the waterfall.